During hurricane season, a little past midnight, I was jolted awake by the urgent ringing of my phone. Answering the call, I heard the tearful voice of my boyfriend Jacob's assistant. Emily. Jacob's been in a car accident. We can't get any transportation in this storm. My blood ran cold. Without thinking, I grabbed my keys and raced through the torrential downpour. Lightning split the sky as thunder shook my car. The windshield wipers fought a losing battle against the rain's onslaught. When I reached the accident location, the deserted roadside showed no trace of anyone. My phone buzzed again with new coordinates from Lucy. Entering the bar they directed me to, I was met with raucous laughter. Lucy bounced over with mock apology. Silly Emily. We were just playing truth or dare. You don't mind a little joke, right? Months later, when Jacob actually became disabled in a crash and someone called me, I chuckled into the phone, playing truth or dare again? Have fun without me. Late July's hurricane warnings blared across every weather channel. By 11 p.m., Jacob still hadn't returned home. My text message went unanswered, typical these days. Our 7-year relationship had deteriorated from constant sweet nothings to icy indifference. His complaints about me being overbearing echoing through our cold apartment. As rainwater seeped through the window seals, mirroring the decay of our love, I stuffed old towels against the leaks. Jacob wouldn't brave the storm to come home. Sleep. I told myself. You've got 2 surgeries tomorrow. Dozing fitfully, the emergency ringtone shattered the night. That hated voice whined through the receiver. Emily. Jacob crashed his car. Come get us. The line died before I could respond, replaced by glowing map coordinates. Grabbing my medical kit, I plunged into the tempest. My car sliced through flooded streets where fallen trees lay like fallen soldiers. Running 2 red lights, I reached the pin drop location, another deserted roadside. Lucy? I'm here. Where are you? The dial tone answered. A new location appeared. This time from Jacob's number. 500 meters away. If he could send pins. He was conscious. My white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel loosened slightly. I drove slowly toward the bar where Jacob loved to drink with his buddies. He always claimed the place had great ambience. I figured after the supposed car accident, they'd naturally take shelter there to wait out the storm. It made perfect sense until I stepped out of my car and got drenched by the downpour in 3 seconds flat. The bar's warm yellow light flickered through the rain-soaked night. Its rustic wooden door seemed to whisper promises of intimacy. I pushed through it just in time to see Jacob and Lucy doing a wedding-style toast through the carved partition, surrounded by rowdy cheers. Lucy's red spaghetti-strap dress clung to her curves, exposing that soft expanse of neck and other assets. The man who should have been in a car wreck stood there pristine in his designer clothes while I dripped rainwater onto the floor. Kiss her! The crowd chanted as Jacob cupped Lucy's face, their lips inching closer. Someone finally noticed me and yelled, "Holy shit! Emily actually came." The room erupted in laughter. Of course Dr. Johnson would rush over. She's obsessed with Jacob. Their voices carved through me like broken glass. My panicked drive through the storm had been nothing but betting pool entertainment. The lovebirds untangled themselves lazily. Lucy's flushed face could have been from alcohol or other activities. I locked the door behind me. The click drowned out by Jacob's condescending, "Take a seat, Emily. We'll leave soon." Lucy bounced over with fake innocence. "It was just a prank. Emily. We lost a drinking game. You're not mad, right?" She stuck out her tongue like some cartoon character. I saw red. Before anyone could react, I had Lucy in a medical chokehold, fingers jammed down her throat. As an ER physician, I knew exactly how to trigger the gag reflex. Her drunken stomach emptied spectacularly across the VIP booth. When Jacob shouted, "Stop it, Emily!" I was already smashing a beer bottle. He screamed as I yanked his hair, kneeing him where it counts. My nails found every soft spot: ears, eyes, groin. The room became a blur of broken glass and flying fists until security finally pulled me off. My designer blouse torn and bloodied. As Jacob's rowdy friends snapped out of their daze and pulled me away, Jacob was left in a disheveled state. They pleaded with me, "Sis. It's not what you think. We were just playing a drinking game. Lucy lost and took the dare too far. Don't be mad." Across the room, Lucy finally stopped retching, her mouth smeared with blood and tongue swollen as she slurred. "I want to die. Emily. Why would you do this to me?" I tightened my grip on the glass ashtray. "So I'm the punchline now?" Jacob roared. "Emily. I'm breaking up with." The ashtray whizzed past his head before he could finish, shattering against the wall in a cascade of glittering shards. Cowering in the corner with terror in his eyes, Jacob shouted hoarsely, "Emily. Have you lost your mind? It was just a joke. Was all this violence necessary?" His cronies chimed in like a Greek chorus. "Seriously. Sis. We were just drinking and messing around. Jacob and Lucy weren't doing anything. Lighten up." So they thought this was about jealousy? About catching my boyfriend cheating? I slammed my surgical scalpel onto the table. Who planned this? The room fell silent, all eyes drifting to Lucy. Not that I needed confirmation. Men always cover for each other when they're out with trashy women, too ashamed to admit their pathetic behavior. Society rightfully condemns cheaters, so they weave their web of lies. Just like now. Everyone assumed I was throwing a jealous tantrum over some flirtation. They didn't understand true rage. Not when lives hung in the balance during that storm. As a doctor who risks everything to save others, I'd raced through torrential rain only to find life and death matters reduced to drunken amusement. Tilting my head back, I let tears mix with the drumming rain outside the soundproofed karaoke room. Lucy approached with her swollen face, sniveling. "Emily. We're sorry. It was just a joke." Jacob swaggered over with macho bravado. "Why apologize to this psycho? Lucy? Can't take a fucking joke? Emily. We're due." I lunged, grabbing Lucy's hair and dragging her toward Jacob. "Say break up one more time, Jacob, and I'll slaughter everyone here." The scalpel pressed against Lucy's throat froze the room. Even through my fury, part of me registered the absurdity moments earlier. I'd almost believed their joke excuse after slapping Lucy. Now Jacob bellowed, "Put the knife down. You lunatic. I'm warning you. Emily. Shove your warnings up your ass." I screamed. "I'll gladly take out you, this slut, and every coward here today." True to form, Jacob's friends proved spineless. One tried bolting for the door, yelling "This isn't my problem," only to panic when the locked door confused him. The idiot forgot it opened inward, forcing Lucy's head up with her scalp in my fist. I traced the blade down her cheek. "Just a joke, Lucy?" Her trembling lips could only nod repeatedly, smearing fresh blood across the steel. "Emily. It's just a prank. We really didn't do anything." The sharp scalpel in my hand sliced through the delicate strap of her camisole dress. A flash of crimson fluttered to the floor. With a snap, her bra strap followed suit. Lucy clutched her chest, screaming. I yanked her hair violently, snarling, "How's this for a joke, Miss Brown?" Jacob watched his little mistress exposed naked before his buddies. He grabbed my hair and slapped me hard across the face. I didn't dodge, my cheek burning as coppery blood filled my mouth. Perfect. Now any police report would show mutual combat between women fighting over cheating partners who wouldn't brawl in this situation. "Emily. When will this madness end?" Jacob roared. "I've tried reasoning with you. It was just a fucking joke." The door burst open as his rat-faced friends scrambled to escape. Curious bar staff and patrons craned their necks outside. I threw myself against Jacob's chest, wailing hysterically. "A joke? You call fucking her raw a joke?" Planting myself in the doorway like those ER lobby screamers I'd seen, I stomped and clapped like deranged percussion. Everyone! Look at this naked slut in my man's arms. She says it's comedy gold. I lunged for Lucy, dragging her by the roots of her highlighted hair. She desperately clutched discarded fabric against herself. Why hide? I shrieked. You weren't shy sending me those bed selfies. Clawing at Jacob's ears, I screamed into his bleeding face, tell them. Tell everyone how you rode this whore. He threw me to the ground, bellowing, Emily, I'm breaking. His declaration died as my beer bottle shattered against his shin bone. Lucy's lace thong joined the carnage during the struggle. Covered in cuts, I rampaged through the bar smashing TVs, speakers, glass shards glittering like my shattered marriage. Outside, whispers swirled, 5 dudes and 1 chick. Hooker drama? Wife caught them role-playing, bloodied and triumphant. I fled into the storm as staff intervened. Pausing under security cameras, I made sure to face them squarely. Let the surveillance footage tell this hilarious story. The typhoon's dying gusts whipped my hair as I sped toward Mercy General Hospital. My ER shift started in 20 minutes, perfect timing to document these injuries properly. The on-duty doctor was horrified to see me covered in blood and grime. Shards of glass were embedded in 2 places on my feet. The flesh mangled and raw. Dr. Johnson. What happened? The physician asked. Got into a brawl. I sighed. Turns out my deadbeat boyfriend cheated on me. Lost my temper when that homewrecker mocked me to my face. The doctor frowned. Emily. Just dump the loser. Why stoop to his level? Agreed. Dump the trash. But I won't tolerate disrespect, I said, flexing my bandaged hands. I'm transferring tomorrow's 2 surgeries. Not in the right headspace to hold scalpels. They were minor procedures. But swapping lead surgeons last minute still complicated things. Lives depended on precision, our sacred oath as healers couldn't be compromised. I crashed in the call room until Dr. White summoned me at 10 a.m. Our department head looked every inch the runway model he could have been, 6'2" with abs like carved chocolate and cheekbones that defied medical scrubs. Such wasted potential behind those nerdy black frames. He slid a complaint across his desk. My laugh came out bitter. Jacob's work. Obviously. Only my ex would know which HIPAA loopholes to exploit. I leaned back. All defiance. Want my resignation? Grandpa's TCM clinic needs inheriting anyway. Dr. White handed me water. Steaming tea from his thermos. This isn't county hospital. Emily. Complaints are noise. I rolled my eyes at his bureaucratic platitudes. So fire me or don't. Actually, his dimples appeared. Our South Region branch needs surgeons. Take leave. Settle your domestic affairs? My eye twitched. So the whole hospital knew about last night's spectacle. Perfect. Fine. I stormed out, dialing at the entrance. Think they can screw me over and live happily ever after? Not happening. The line connected. Mr. Green? Emily Johnson here. Dr. Johnson. The raspy chuckle sounded like gravel in a blender. Come by for tea sometime. I smiled coldly. The crime lord owed me his life after that midnight STEMI. Even underworld kings needed cardiologists. After the incident, he was extremely grateful to me, calling me a saint. When discharged, he thumped his chest and promised, if you ever face trouble in Springfield, come straight to me. Mr. Green, could you spare 3 or 4 of your collection guys? I grinned. Mr. Green raised an eyebrow. What do you need them for? Without hesitation, I replied, my man got cheated on. I need some backup to crash the drama. Also, I need you to dig up some info for me. He agreed readily. I drove home under the freshly washed sky. Even after the typhoon, late July's heat clung to the air like wet gauze. The streets, now cleared of debris, buzzed with normalcy, as if the recent chaos had evaporated into the cotton ball clouds overhead. Jacob was lounging on the couch when I entered, remote in hand pretending to watch TV. Ignoring him, I marched to the bedroom and began packing. Emily, what the hell are you doing? He followed, watching me stuff suitcases. I kept folding clothes, not bothering to look up. He softened his tone. We're getting married this winter. Just apologize to Lucy and gift her that Hermes bag. Let it go. Oh, you mean the limited edition from my client? I snorted. Nice try. That bag's worth more than your dignity. The Hermes had been a thank you from a wealthy patient at our private hospital. When death breathes down your neck, even billionaires grovel. Doctors become gods in those moments. Why are you packing? Another work trip? Moving out. I yanked another blouse from the closet. Jacob, only I get to end this. You don't get to dump me. Yesterday wasn't your call, it's mine. Apologize to that homewrecker? Give her my bag? Are you high? My calmness ignited him. God damn it, Emily. It was just a joke. How many times? The glass vase exploded against the doorframe where his head had been. Shards glittered like the fragments of our 7 years. Are you insane? He bellowed from behind the door, picking up a razor-edged fragment. I stalked toward him. Say joke one more time. Jacob. I dare you. He paled. You and your frat boy club can circle jerk all you want. I hissed. But make me the punchline? That's your last mistake. After an eternity. He spat. Fine. Leave. Don't come crawling back. The movers called as he spoke. I directed them upstairs, still clutching the glass shard. Let him explain the broken vase to the next girlfriend. The movers worked quickly, loading all my belongings into the truck. Anything left? One asked. Jacob sat stiffly on the couch watching TV. I walked over, grabbed the ashtray, and hurled it at the screen. Glass shattered. Emily, you've crossed the line. Jacob roared. You made me a laughingstock. If I'm miserable, everyone suffers. I stormed out. My compact 850 square foot condo nearby, fully paid for by my parents, became my sanctuary. My mother always said women need their own space. I used to roll my eyes at that wisdom. Sunday morning arrived. I marched toward the Brown residence with 4 tattooed bodyguards in tow. Bang! 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 I hammered the door while blaring through a megaphone, Lucy, come explain why you're sleeping with my man and making me the neighborhood joke. A bodyguard started kicking the door. Mrs. Brown finally yanked it open, screeching, How dare you? My daughter's a respectable woman. I shoved a photo in her face. This your little slut? Bring her out. The megaphone amplified my voice through the complex. Curtains twitched in neighboring units. Good people, hear this. I projected. Not only did this homewrecker sleep with my man, she faked his car accident last night. Made me drive through that storm just to find them cozying up. Says it's just a joke. The crowd murmured. Saw that Lucy last week wearing skirts so short her cheeks hung out. Someone remarked. Word is she ran naked from a bar after a 5-man gangbang. Another added. Mrs. Brown turned purple. Lucy! Get out here! The disheveled brunette emerged in pajamas. Her mother yanked her hair. Explain, these bruises you said were from the storm. Mom. It's not, Lucy whimpered before turning to me. Emily. Really? Jacob and I just had drinks. The megaphone crackled as I backhanded her. You did body shots off my husband's naked torso. I turned blind eyes before. But faking his death? That's your idea of humor? The crowd erupted. Brazen hussy. Home-wrecking trash. My crew charged in with rubber batons. Furniture splintered. Mr. Brown tried intervening until a bodyguard's arm lock silenced him. Lucy's brother howled under another guard's chokehold. When the demolition concluded, I flashed a checkbook. Calling cops. Lucy? Let's see what the courts value your trash heap at. The police didn't show up. But Jacob arrived. Lucy's face was swollen, her tear-streaked face buried in his chest. I watched calmly. But the next second, Jacob shoved Lucy away, snapping, Lucy, you're just my assistant. Know your place. Lucy froze momentarily before shrieking. Jacob! What the hell? His face hardened. Last night when I went drinking with friends, you insisted on tagging along. Got drunk and stripped naked? Then secretly called my wife claiming I'd been in a car accident? Made her rush through a storm for your sick joke? Lucy's eyes widened in disbelief. Mine did too. How could Jacob flip overnight? Just yesterday he'd asked me to gift Lucy a Hermes bag as apology. Now publicly denying their relationship? Of course. The Smiths were old money aristocracy. And Jacob merely an illegitimate son pretty face. Ivy League degree. Managing some company under his father's thumb. But corporate scandals affecting stock prices? That wouldn't fly. Those bar photos of him carrying half-naked Lucy must have reached the Smith executives. His half-sister Jessica had been waiting for such misstep. Jacob approached me, reaching for my hand. Emily, please understand. I never meant, before he finished. Lucy lunged at him. Why aren't you mentioning your bet? You told them Emily would forgive anything. Now you're making me take the fall? What kind of man are you? I grabbed a rubber baton from my tattooed crew, smashing it against an overturned chair. Who you calling old hag? Bitch? Lucy flinched. I glared at Jacob. And stay away you reek. As we left, one tattooed guy asked, why didn't the Browns call cops? I smirked. Lucy thought this was some Clichisio romance. Believed the bastard loved her. Back home, I told my parents about ending 7 years with Jacob. They raged upon learning his true colors. Mom cried when I mentioned transferring south. It's just a 5-hour flight. I comforted. A week later, packing for overseas, Jacob requested a meetup. Mr. Green's informant said he'd fired Lucy College and turned 2 days from completing her 6-month probation. After Jacob fired Lucy, she was unable to obtain her college diploma. Lucy stormed into Jacob's office and caused a scene. When she tried returning the next day, security barred her entry. The compromising photos and videos from the bar eventually leaked, circulating throughout the company. Everyone mocked her as the country bumpkin trying to become a phoenix who couldn't even seduce her way to the top despite stripping naked. Jacob spun the narrative during a company meeting. You all know how much I love Emily. When I first saw her on campus, it was love at first sight. I pursued her for 2 whole years before she agreed to date me. After 5 years together, right before our wedding, this idiot woman ruined everything. He continued. That night was just guys hanging out. But Lucy insisted on tagging along. I thought let the kid have some fun. Next thing I know, she's calling Emily from the bathroom wishing me dead in a car crash. Emily still raced through the storm to check on me because she cares. The stripping? That was all Lucy's doing. She threw herself at me completely unprovoked. His silver tongue turned public opinion. Not only did Lucy lose her diploma, she became the town pariah. Neighbors pointed fingers. Family members shamed her. And creeps propositioned her with how much per night. When Jacob met me at the cafe with roses and a new Chanel bag, his bedroom eyes practically undressed me. Emily, must you really leave? I've fired all female staff. I swear I'll be faithful. I sipped my latte. Save the act. Jacob, your entire company knows about Lucy. They just humor you as CEO. Besides, I slid the empty cup aside. I saw the evidence myself. Used goods hold no value to me. Remember our deal? Only I get to end this. As I exited, he called after me, "I'll come find you in Southern State after wrapping things up here." 2 months later, Mr. Green called. "Still in Southern State. Doc? Big trouble. Your ex got T-bone, shattered leg, caved-in ribs, cracked skull. ICU's keeping him alive, barely." The old gangster chuckled. "Care to guess accident or calculated? Considering your calling, definitely intentional." Bingo! Lucy stalked him for weeks before ramming his car. Pity she crashed into a tree during the finishing pass. Amateur move. A pro would have left him in pieces. I stared at the schedule blinking on my pager. Somewhere, heart monitors sang their flatline lullaby. I returned to the country over a month after Jacob's accident, following Lucy's life sentence for intentional assault, to handle some affairs. I made a point of visiting Lucy at the prison. When we met again, her eyes looked vacant and her face haggard. As I picked up the intercom receiver, she suddenly screamed at me, "Why? Emily? How did this happen? Everything was perfect at first. He loved me so much, cared about me, cherished me. He'd specially order my favorite desserts at corporate galas. He drove me home, gave me designer bags, jewelry, perfumes. It's all your fault. You old hag. You kept clinging to him when he didn't love you anymore. Couldn't you have just disappeared like a decent person?" I silently pulled up a photo on my phone and showed it to her. This was 6 months ago when I flew to South Korea for a surgery. 10 minutes before the operation, you sent me those bedroom photos of you too. You wanted me distracted enough to botch the surgery. Didn't you? Lucy snarled, "Damn right. You should have taken the hint and left. Homewreckers use whatever means necessary, that's just how it works." I remained calm. Typical mistress tactics, I suppose. But tell me, what did that patient ever do to you? You essentially attempted premeditated murder that day. That's when I realized simply breaking up with Jacob would be letting you two off too easy. I needed to destroy you both. Don't worry, Lucy. You'll have decades in here to reflect. As I set down the receiver, Lucy's screams followed me. "He loved me. Why did he suddenly turn on me? Do you know how hard I worked to get into college? To land that internship? Everything vanished overnight over some stupid joke. You forced my hand, I had to crash into him." The guards dragged her away as I left for the hospital. Modern medicine had saved Jacob's life but left him permanently paralyzed. His mouth twitched in a failed attempt to smile when he saw me, tears leaking instead. I pulled up a chair beside his bed. "Remember those passionate vows you made while pursuing me? You swore if you ever betrayed Emily, you'd die without a whole corpse. Looks like you'll keep that promise regardless of when death comes now." After long silence, Jacob rasped, "Came to gloat?" "Hardly. As a doctor, I revere life." My smile turned icy. "That stormy night when the weather service warned everyone to stay indoors, you called claiming to be in a car crash during your little game with Lucy. Despite my dread, I went out, doctor's duty and all. Then that idiot Lucy popped up making cutesy faces, saying just a prank. Don't be mad. You thought I was jealous? Please." What enraged me was her disrespect toward both of us. Now she's made her joke reality. Poetic, isn't it? I leaned closer. "Enjoy your new reality, Jacob. Bed sores from paralysis, phantom limb pain, minimum wage nurses who'll slap you for pocket change. You've become the punchline of your own joke. Oh, and I hear the embezzlement charges surfaced too. The Smiths claiming mental illness now? How convenient." Jacob's eyes burned with primal terror. "Emily, don't leave. Take me with you," his hoarse plea chased after me through the marble corridor. "They'll kill me. Please." I kept walking. The heavy clinic doors hissed shut behind me, sealing his fate. Karma's a merciless surgeon, those who mock others often become life's ultimate punchline. Epilogue: years later, during my monsoon season visit to Southeast Asia, I found myself face to face with Jessica in a members-only cocktail lounge. The half-sister extended a crystal tumbler of single malt, her vermilion nails catching the low light. "Miss Johnson, we owe you our gratitude for excising that malignancy." I accepted the drink with a polite nod. The tumor necrotized on its own. Ms. Smith. All I did was decline to perform heroic measures on a terminal case. Her champagne flute clinked against my glass. Wisdom worth bottling. Which reminds me, a leather portfolio materialized beside our hors d'oeuvres. These medical complex shares rightfully belong to their most qualified steward. The humid air carried distant thunder as I skimmed the transfer documents. Across the veranda, flame trees blazed against gunmetal skies. We both knew this wasn't charity, with Jacob's catastrophic meltdown. The Smith dynasty now answered solely to its razor-sharp heiress. To healing, I toasted, savoring the peaty warmth spreading through my chest. My Hippocratic oath never specified refusing well-earned victory laps, especially when they funded 3 new neonatal wings back home.